man hug. That is the beautiful game played in a beautiful way.
Златан Ібрагімович, що він робить? Що він робить сьогодні?
Ibrahimović dominou o gol, sensacional! Golaço de Ibrahimović!
Zlatan Ibrahimović, one of the most confident, dominant and straight up entertaining footballers we've ever seen. 20 years at the top, over 500 career goals, league titles in 4 different countries, but somehow no Champions League. The man who's called himself a lion, a goat, a Ferrari among Fiats, never got his hands on Europe's biggest trophy. And it's not like he played for random mid-table teams either. We're talking about Ajax, Juventus, Inter, Barcelona, Milan, PSG, Manchester United. So how? How does someone who won everywhere he went never win the one title that defines the greats? Today, we're breaking it all down. Every single year Zlatan chased the Champions League and why every single time it failed. So let's go back, all the way to the beginning. Zlatan's first real taste of Champions League came with Ajax, a young, exciting team full of future stars. We're talking Sneijder, Van der Vaart, Maxwell and a 21-year-old Swedish striker who looked like he could take over the world. In 02-03, Ajax actually made a real run. They finished top of their second group stage, back when the format was confusing as hell, and ended up facing AC Milan in the quarterfinals. And for a while, they looked like they might actually do it. But Zlatan? He wasn't the star. He wasn't even starting every game. He scored just once that entire Champions League campaign, and that was against Basel. In those knockout games against Milan, he barely made an impact. The score was 1-1 until the 90th minute of the second leg. And then, boom. Thomason scores for Milan and Ajax are out. Zlatan leaves the tournament having learned a lesson that will repeat for decades. In the Champions League, timing is everything. He had talent, he had swagger, but he wasn't ready. And the curse started quietly. No, this was the phase where Zlatan became a superstar. At Inter, he was unstoppable in Serie A, top scorer in 08-09, 2-time league champion, highlight machine. But in Europe, let's go season by season. In 06-07, Inter dominant domestically, but draw Valencia in the round of 16. Zlatan scores twice in the group stage, but in the knockouts, he goes missing. Inter eliminated on away goals after a 2-2 draw, and Zlatan gets injured before the second leg, and watches his team go out from the stands. Now, before the video goes on, I just quickly wanted to show you guys that 98.9% still haven't subscribed to the channel, so please subscribe and let's move on. In 07-08, they face Liverpool again and it's a disaster. Inter lose 2-0 at Anfield with Materazzi sent off and the return leg ends 1-0. Zlatan plays both matches, 0 goals. He's now building a reputation. League monster, European ghost. The next year, Inter are coached by Jose Mourinho. Everyone expected this to be the year. Zlatan was a Serie A MVP, scoring 25 goals in the league, but in the Champions League, Manchester United happened. Inter plays 0-0 at the San Siro and Zlatan again misses big chances. Return leg at Old Trafford, 2-0 United. Zlatan invisible again. He finished the Champions League that season with 0 knockout goals. Mourinho later even said, Zlatan is a great player, but he felt too much pressure in Europe. And Zlatan, he was fed up. He felt like Inter didn't have the creativity to win it. He wanted to go somewhere built to conquer Europe. So that summer, he made the biggest decision of his career. He joined Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, the defending champions. This was it, his moment. The team that had just won the treble, coached by Pep Guardiola, featuring Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Alves, Piqué. Literal football perfection. Zlatan even started well, like really well. 11 goals in his first 13 league matches, including a winner in El Clasico, and he was scoring in the Champions League too. 4 goals in the group stage, 2 more in the round of 16 versus Stuttgart, and then everything changed. Messi. Because Pep realized that Messi was unstoppable when he played as a false 9. So he moved him central, Zlatan's position. Zlatan was furious. He later said, "You bought a Ferrari but you drive it like a Fiat." The tension exploded. By the semi-finals, their relationship was broken. And who were they facing? Inter Milan, his old team, his old manager Mourinho. The first leg in Milan, Inter win 3-1. Zlatan does nothing. The second leg, Barcelona win 1-0, but it's not enough and Inter advance. He left Inter to win it and they won it without him. He joined Barcelona to win it and they won it the year after he left. That was the story of Zlatan's career in one sentence. Zlatan joined AC Milan in 2010, first on loan and then permanently. It was a great fit, he won Serie A and he was happy again. But the Champions League, still cruel. In the 2010-11 season, Milan go out to Tottenham in the round of 16. Zlatan scores 0 goals in the knockout round and they lose 1-0 on aggregate after Peter Crouch, yes, Peter Crouch, scores at San Siro. The following year, that was his best Milan side, with Thiago Silva, Robinho, Kevin Prince Boateng and a prime Zlatan. They actually beat Arsenal 4-0 in the first leg of the round of 16. Zlatan gets a goal and 2 assists. But then, they almost blow it, losing 3-0 in the second leg. Still, they advance. Then comes Barcelona, again, in the quarterfinals. Zlatan tries to prove himself, he gets an assist, but Milan lose 3-1 at the Camp Nou, out again. That's when Zlatan realized something. No matter where he goes, Barcelona will haunt him. And then, he left Italy, joining the New Money project in Paris. Zlatan's PSG years are the most underrated part of his Champions League story. He absolutely dominated Ligue 1. 156 goals in 180 games. But in Europe, he never got past the quarterfinals. 2012-13, PSG's first big run. They draw Barcelona in the quarters, Zlatan scores in the first leg, 2-2 draw, but they go out on away goals after Messi inspires a comeback in the second leg. 2013-14, this time Chelsea. PSG win the first leg 3-1, Zlatan assists, then gets injured, misses the second leg, and Chelsea win 2-0. Now in 2014-15, the most infamous one, against Chelsea again, Zlatan gets red carded in the first half after a clash with Oscar. And they still advance thanks to Thiago Silva, but Zlatan misses the next game. And in the quarters, Barcelona knocked them out again. 2015-16, his last season in Paris, they face Manchester City. Zlatan misses a penalty in the first leg, then scores one, but PSG still go out 3-2 on aggregate. Once again, the story of his life, domestic king, European heartbreak. At Manchester United, Zlatan was already 35. He was brilliant in the Europa League, scoring in the final run, but never got close to the Champions League again. Injury in 2017 ended that dream for good. His return to Milan later in his career was emotional, symbolic, but not about the Champions League anymore. By then, it was too late. So why did Zlatan never win the Champions League? It wasn't just bad luck, it was timing. Every time he left a team, they peaked the next season. Ajax made a deep run after he left, Inter won the Champions League right after he left, and Barcelona also won the Champions League right after he left. It was also ego. Zlatan's personality made him clash with managers who demanded total obedience. Pep, Capello, even Blanc, and finally, style. Zlatan was best when the system revolved around him. But in the Champions League, you often have to sacrifice yourself for the team, and he never did that. Zlatan Ibrahimović is a legend, no doubt. But he's also living proof that greatness doesn't always equal glory. You can be the best striker in every league you touch, and still never touch the one trophy that defines the greats. At the end of the day, Zlatan Ibrahimović didn't need the Champions League to prove who he was. He was bigger than that trophy. He was chaos, control, arrogance, confidence, all in one body. And maybe that's the whole point. Some players chase greatness, and Zlatan was greatness. He didn't win the Champions League. He left behind something way more valuable, a legacy. And that's something you can't buy. Not even if you won the Champions League. As always, thank you guys for watching, please subscribe and I'll catch y'all in the next one.